So for the final task, you are going to attempt an apportionment doing the following things. You're going to pick two states, one that is in the top 25 most populous and one that's in the bottom 25 least populous. I've got that in an Excel sheet. You're going to find the number of representatives elected to those state houses. Note, this is not the federal House of Representatives. It's the state House of Representatives. So you're going to have to do an internet search for that. And then you're going to choose an apportionment method, one of these three, and apportion the representatives for each state using exactly 50 districts. So let me show you where all this stuff is. In your JetNet shell, under project documents, here's everything you need for all of the projects for the entire semester. So here's the sheet I'm reading from, and then this is what we need, the state population data. I'm going to go ahead and download that, and then we're going to need the random district populator. Okay, so our job was to pick our two states, our favorite state from the top 25 most populous and the second one from the bottom 25 most populous. So I'm just going to take New York. I'm going to hit Control C, open a new sheet on this, hit Control V. There's New York's population. Let's make that bigger so we can actually read what's going on. And then I grabbed Puerto Rico. Hey, Puerto Rico is not a state, it's a territory. We'll do New Hampshire. And that's the least populous. I don't need all that extra stuff. So what this has for us is the population for each of these states as the exact amount. So New York has what, 19,444,500 people live there. New Hampshire has 1,371,250 people. Okay, so we need to apportion this into 50 districts. Well, the problem is we have to know how many people live in each district. Well, I created this district populator, this random populator here, that is going to randomly assign our population into these districts. So what we need is to take the New York population. So I just clicked Control C, and then I'm going to dump that into this district populator. So right here it says what's the state's population, dump it in there, hit Control V, and notice it is automatically assigned a amount of a population to each of these 50 districts. Now, you could also do this for 25 districts if you prefer, so I'll dump it in here. I don't know, it might be a little more interesting. One of the problems, or one of the things to note, is this is randomly generated. So every time you make a change on here, so if I just hit enter, it changes the population. Let me undo that. So what I encourage you to do is select all the values, hit Control C, and then paste them using this paste the values button. Okay, so now I have the population of each district as randomly generated by Excel. All right, so our job then is to determine what method are we going to use. Well, I'm just going to do Hamilton's, and to do that we need a standard divisor. Well, to get the standard divisor, let me type that in here. Recall that you take the total population and divide it by the number of seats. So here's the total population. So I'm just going to hit equal, take the total population and divide it by, in this case, it's 50 seats or 50 districts. That's our standard divisor. Let me make that larger. And then if we want to get our standard quota, I will define that here. We need to divide each of these populations by the standard divisor, just like we did in 1/8. So I'm going to hit equal, I'm going to select this population, and then I'm just going to type in this value, 3888810. All right, now we have to do this 50 times, right? So this is where that trick I showed you in the previous video comes in really handy. Select the lower right-hand corner, click, hold, and drag, and there you've got the population of the district for the entire, for all 50 sections, for all 50 districts. Now, I can see that there's immediately a problem. Look at all of these. These are really tiny numbers, right? So these all have a lower quota of 1 and an upper quota of 2, which makes this a not very interesting deal. So I'll let you go from there to finish this project out, but essentially you've got to type out your lower quota and your upper quota, and I don't know, let's see, let's think of, maybe there's a nice shortcut we can do to help to automate this work for us. So we want this, and the nice little formula we're going to use is round down. So note, if this rounds correctly, we should get a 3 here. Entered too many number of digits, comma 1. So what this function requires, this round down function, I'm going to type it in, round down. You have to select the thing you want to round, so we want that cell, and then the number of digits we want to use. We want to use 0 because we want to get that whole number. So we should get 3. Huzzah, we get 3. Now I'm going to drag this all the way down, and it's going to automatically do that for all of them. Now the problem is, for any number less than 1, it's giving us 0, and those should all actually be 1s. All right, so we have to fix that ourselves. And then to do the roundup, you saw that there was a roundup function there, hopefully. Same thing, the number of digits. We're going to select the function, and let's see what happens when we do 1 digit. Oops, we forgot to close the parentheses. And hang on. Okay, so what we want to do for the roundup, do your equal, click the roundup. I'm going to double click it. That puts the parentheses in this. We do want 0 places because we want the whole number, and notice it does round up to 4. This one should be 16. Yes, it does. Shazam, that should give us all of them. Now notice it's still problematic, right? Because any place that we have a 0, it should actually be a 2 here. So we might just have to manually go through and hit a 1 for each of these. And the other problem here is this is not, there's probably way too many 1s here. So what we're going to have to do is, let's just quick check, what's this add up to? Does this actually add up to 50? Is it more than? Is it less than? What's going on here? I get 81, so that's way more than the number of seats we have to give out. So we can't use any of the methods here. This is kind of a bum problem. So try it with 25. It should work out a little bit better with only 25 districts being rounded out.